Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing some brake work and some springs. So my MOT is due in just over a week. So I want to get these discs changed. I've got some shock absorbers and some new brake pads for this. So I've already saved you the hassle of having to watch me jack up the car. So the wheel's off. So let's take a look. So as you can see overall, it's better than it was, but it's still not the best. So when they refer to on an MOT pitted and scored, I think that's probably as good an example as you're going to get. It's in a bit bad shape. The caliper looks in good nick, and the shock absorber doesn't look too bad, and neither does the spring, but I'm going to change it anyway because I don't really want to be constantly taking the wheels on and off. So it's one of those things for me where while I'm here, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not one of those while you're here, but even still. So I've got shock absorbers, springs, disc, and pads. So we'll get this lot whipped off. But first I need to remember to take the cap off the brake fluid reservoir. So we'll just give the wheel spacer a little love tap. Get it loose. So, need to get this inner liner off so I can access the top of the shock absorber. And these are Torx. Let me cheat. Torx 20. And they're dotted all around the inside of here. So, again, I will jump back to video when this is off. So, that's the inner liner off. And that's the top bolt for the shock absorber. So, you can see there, it's quite crusty, that, over at the top. Whereas down there it seems to be reasonably okay. So I will just grab. So this one is what we're replacing it with. Is a Bilstein gas shock. So obviously it's not brand new, but I think it's about 18-month old, maybe a little bit older. I had it on the Moral Blue, so because they're new, as you can see there already from the top of that. If you look at that one, so yeah. Again, I already had them, so may as well fit them. Top one. 17. There we go. Now I have bought some new hardware because Mr. Parrot told me that when you change your shock absorbers you should change the bolts, so I've got some OEM bolts to replace this with, which is good news. So again, I'll come back when the top one, there's also one down here at the bottom as well, which is also connected to the drop link, but again I've got a brand new drop link stick on there as well. So we'll come back when the shock absorber's off. I can honestly say that this was tough. But it's coming out now. Good news. Woo! And then we have a great success. Super. Right, that's what. Oh! Swinging shocker. There we go. Not too bad. So, just need to undo the top. As I say, it's not overly that bad, but as I say, I mean, I've got a spare, but it's off. Ha ha! So that's a drop link off now. Again, as you can see, it's not actually that bad, but I might as well change them anyway. So that's off. Now it's just for the caliper. Right, so that's the 13mm bolts off. These ones, interestingly, it's holding nut. It's like a 14. So you have to. So I had to use that on there while I undid it on the other side. But yeah, it's a different size, not even a 13. But typical Vagay. Put whatever size you want anyway. So now I just need to get this caliper off. So obviously I'm not bothered if I damage this disc, I'm putting a new one on. But I'm fairly sure it's just a case of just prying it off. So I'm going to figure that out. That's caliper off. I do have another set, but I was going to do the brake line, but I haven't got a bleed kit, so for now I'll just put that old caliper back on and then I'll do calipers a different day. But that's the old disc, so let's get the screw removed and that should fall off. I'm going to see if I can do it without taking off these carriers because it's a funny size on the back. Well, I asked Mr. Parrot, I asked Darren as well, but yeah, so I did undo the bottom arm, so I just put that back through. but it's throwing down with rain. I can't find my spring clamps because that's probably going to be the best way to do the spring. So it's going to be a bit of an epic fail on the spring, but I'm going to get the drop link put on, shock absorber, new disc, new pads, put this side back together, and then I'll just have to do the spring on a different day. It's solid anyway, but I just thought, well, I'll change it. But the new one, these ones, so Bilstein. So I've got two brand new ones, and there's the other one there. But yeah, I'm just not winning with it, so I can't leave it on Jackson axle stand, so I'm going to put it back together now this side. So yeah, reverse order. So we'll start with the drop link, and then we'll go with the shock absorber, and then we'll put the disc on, and then we'll put the pads on. And there's the new hardware I mentioned before, so it just replaces this one here. Again, nice and shiny and new, so we'll use these. So that's the shock and drop link on. That's a bit of a fast hard. I use the jack to hold it up. New discs, I can't remember how much I paid for these, but I'll pop it up. So yeah, get it opened, get the disc on. Old disc and nice shiny new one. And last but not least, the pads. So get a set of these installed, and then hopefully that should be job done. So crack on with that. So that's the pads on. I think that's how you put them on, because they stayed on when I pulled the caliper off. So I'm just going to push the piston back. So I just need to tighten the bolts up now. Just done that top one. Need to do the bottom one down there. Where is it? That one. So the dilemma is never assume the brakes are all the same. So spoke to Darren, spoke to Don Parrott, and apparently these, you need to wind them back. So lucky for you guys, here's the one I was going to replace it with. So I'll just show you what I mean. So as you can see in there, it's got two pronged ends, so it's like a fork system, and then you have to twist it either clockwise or anti-clockwise to wind the piston back in. So for now, I'm going to put the old pads in. To be fair, there's not that much difference between the old ones and the new ones anyway, but so I'm going to put the old pads back in for now. Borrow the tool off Darren at some point this week, so when I come to do the other side, at least I know now. I've managed to get that bolt back in for the arm finally. Where is it? Sticking out somewhere. There it is, with this little nut on. So I need to tighten that one up, and then get the wheel back on, and then put the car back on the ground. So the moral for today's story is, make sure you've got the correct tools for the correct job, because it's not that, I mean the spring, I gave up on that. But the rest of it is fairly straightforward, apart from, like I say, not having the right tool to get the new pads on. But you know, every day is a learning day. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.